Welcome back. Covering the Capitol, the deadlines for bills to be heard in committees of origin before heading to the floor has actually passed.
And several key pieces of legislation we are watching closely made it through committee this week. Our Capitol reporter, Augusta McDonald, joining us with more. Thanks for waking up early with us once again, Augusta.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know a lot of talk about this universal school voucher bill kind of moving forward. Yes. What does that mean? What does it mean for families? Can you explain for us?
Yes, so this is a big, this bill could make some big changes in education. Senator Pro Tem Greg Treat introduced 2 amendments in Appropriations Committee on Wednesday. Both of those were adopted before Senate Bill 1647 made its final pass out of committee. And these changes are kind of what makes the legislation a little more palatable to some of its opposition. One of those changes, homeschool families no longer eligible to receive state aid money to fund their kids' education. Treat said he made this change after receiving some pushback from homeschool advocates that do not want the accountability that comes with accepting state aid dollars. I would say this bill doesn't have a ton of accountability written into it right now. 2, the income of families who are eligible for the voucher is now capped at $150K for a family of 4, and that effort is to kind of like minimize the number of people who are eligible for the voucher, and kind of in an effort to keep the expense down to public schools.
Okay, also want to ask about another bill that popped up yesterday, kind of at the last minute in the Rules Committee. It's this transgender ban bill. What is it and what happened with it, Augusta?
Sure. So the head of the Rules Committee actually had to waive the rules when he was to get this bill on the agenda yesterday. The bill itself is a measure to kind of keep transgender girls from playing in women's sports. And there's already some policies on the books right now to kind of give families at local schools a way to file complaints about this issue. And so advocates are really more concerned that that the health of 2S plus LGBTQ students will be harmed due to this legislation. So it's kind of an issue of bringing up this rhetoric again.
I know one of the issues that was announced with this was that the OSSAA already has this reporting policy. Well, what is that policy? How does that play into this particular bill?
Sure. So yes, OSSAA, the body that regulates high school sports in Oklahoma, says they have not had a complaint about a transgender girl competing in women's sports since 2015. Advocates want to point out that anybody who's struggling with questions about their gender or sexuality, you can call the Trevor Project. It's a 24/7 hotline with resources and support.
All right, Augusta McDonald, always doing a good job for us at the Capitol. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it, keeping us up to date on what's going on.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, wonderful. And by the way, you can find all of Augusta's coverage at news9.com. She's doing a great job on the education beat. Augusta, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.